Okay, taxonomy, probably like the shortest unit, only because it's not that big of a deal, but it is important to understand because you're not going to understand if you see the names and you don't know what's going on. So, there are many systems of classifying or grouping organisms. The living world is subdivided into 5 major groups called kingdoms, but we'll learn that the 5 kingdoms is actually kind of outdated and doesn't manage to cover everything, and there's many exceptions. So what they did was include 3 domains, which is what IB would like you to know as well. But the 5 kingdoms are Animalia, for example, dogs, humans; Plantae, like pines, geranium; fungi, like mold and mushrooms; Protista or Protocysta, Protoctista, amoeba; Monera, prokaryota, like bacteria. But there's a newer model called the 5 kingdoms and 3 domains, which includes eukarya, eubacteria, and archaea. So eukarya being eukaryotes, eubacteria being prokaryotes, and archaea being something else. So there is new info calling into question the 5 kingdom systems, and evidence in molecular RNA and cellular data suggested the 3 domain system. So okay, eubacteria is true bacteria. Archaea have biochemical attributes that allow them to live in very hostile environments that we or bacteria cannot, such as hot, acidic, anaerobic, salty, geysers even. But archaea and eukarya are more closely related. There's also this 6 kingdoms system, which splits Monera into eubacteria and archaea, which also works. And now scientists classify organisms by grouping these closely related organisms. For example, dogs are all in, well, we know them as dogs, but there are many breeds of dogs. Humans, we're all people. We're all Homo sapiens, and we know that we are close relatives of monkeys, apes, and such. And they're based on common characteristics and traits. So even within each kingdom, organisms are further divided into smaller groups. And this is the organization system from general to specific. There is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. And here's something you shouldn't write on your exam. Kinky people can often find good sex. And that's how I remember k.p.c.o.f.g.s. Credit to my great bio teacher for that one. So that's the end of the notes, but I know there is a certain section about the dichotomous key, which means from a few organisms, you're going to have to be able to specify what's different about them. For example, if there are dogs and cats, then you have to specify that, I don't know, one has, well, they both have whiskers, so you can narrow it down from other things like humans. But then you'd have to go into their traits. For example, I don't know, they're pretty similar, but you'd have to think of some distinguishing features between dogs and cats, and you would need to split them off in a Y branching kind of way, such that the viewer is able to differentiate between each animal based on only your conditions. Then there's also the binomial nomenclature, which has the, it's like this. There's a ananas comosas, like this. They have a first part name in capitalized, and the second part name lowercase. This is the genus species. And the genus should be capitalized, and the species should not. And where possible, you will underline this, or I guess if you're doing a write-up, you'll have to italicize it. And that's it for taxonomy.